Hello everyone, this is Gabatron Gaming. Here's another video on part 3 of how to make your scratch clicker game. Let's get started. So in our game, you probably remember this from last time. We have the background, the coin, and then our little variables here. If you're wondering how I made these variables big, you can change them from normal readout to large readout just by right clicking them. If you have a mouse, then you can basically do it. Otherwise, just like click the 2 fingers and it should do it. Another thing that I did since our last video was I made a new costume for designs, which is basically just this. It's I shrunk the coin down and I found this little arrow on Google. You can type like an arrow mouse into any search browser and you should be able to find like a PNG of this. I basically just made this little symbols for all 3 variables, and as you see, they look pretty good. So here you can kind of see that it's like how much money you have, how much money per click or like clicks, how much clicks per second here, and those pretty much just make the project look a little bit nicer. The thing that we're going to start with in this video is going to be the coin and getting a little bit of animation so it looks better. The first thing you're going to add is these blocks right here. I've already picked them out, so we don't have to take too much time actually picking them out, but I'll explain what they do to you real quick. Basically, set size to 100, make sure that is the right size, and 100% just means like the regular size. And this is going to be important because later on in the video, we are going to be changing the size of this coin. And it's important that when a game starts, it's the normal size. Go to front layer basically means the coin's in front of any other sprite. That's very important, especially since we have a background, so the coin isn't lost behind the background. Point in direction 90 means it's pointing the right direction. If I show you, if I change this to something else, like for example, if I change it like, let's say, what is this? We just changed this. It's a little bit laggy. If we change that like 30 and then we click it, as you see, the coin is now pointing a different direction. And 90 is just the basic direction as we see here. And that's going to make sure that the coin is pointing just in the basic direction. In case you want to turn it, or in case we're going to turn it later on in a video for any reason, it's making sure when a game starts, this is facing the right direction. Go to X0, Y0, basically just centers it. You probably already know why that's important, but like just in case we move it, like over here, if I, project could not be saved here, let me try again. So when we hit the green flag, actually when I click this, it will go to the center. And then show just basically means if we want to hide it for any reason, and probably in a little video we will end up hiding it in case we want like a shop or something. Show is very important that it's showing when the game starts. So you can just pretty much snap that on to the when green flag clicked, and all this stuff will happen when the game starts. So let's get started with the first thing we're going to do in this video, which is going to be giving the coin a little bit of an animation. You're going to need 3 blocks to do this. Very simple, just 3. It's set size 2 and set size 2. And we're going to have 2 of those. And then in control, we're going to grab wait 1 second. And that's going to go in the middle. We're going to change this to 0.1 seconds, so it's very quick. And then we're going to change the top one to a number that's bigger than 100. It's very important you change the top and not the bottom. So I'm going to change this to 105, but you can change it where you want. I wouldn't recommend changing it to something over 120, but honestly, you can do where you want with your game. And the second one should be 100, because like I said before, 100 is going to set it to the normal size. And you can just clip that under when this bar is clicked. So when we start the game, save, and then click it, as you see, it'll get a little bigger whenever we click it. And that looks pretty decently nice, if I do say so myself. So again, if you want to make it appear bigger when you click it, all you have to do is change the top number to something else like 110, and it will be bigger now, and you can change it wherever you want. The second thing we're going to be doing in this video is going to add clones, and this is going to make the game look a lot nicer. If you don't know, clones are basically just like duplicating your little sprite here, and then you can do stuff with that duplicate. So if we grab create clone of myself and put it at the bottom of this, actually since there's a weight, we can put it at the top just so it happens immediately. So we can put it up there. And we are going to grab a when I store as a clone. If we don't have when I store as a clone, the clone won't do anything when it comes in. Like when we click it, it'll just be there and we won't even realize that it's there really because it won't be doing anything. So what we're going to want to do is hit repeat until, and then we are going to have a delete this clone. Now the reason we have this is so when the clone enters, it does something, and once it's done doing that thing, is deleted. And it's very important you have this little shape here instead of a number like basic repeats do, and this is because you can add a sensing into there. If you don't know, sensing basically checks when something happens. For example, we have touching mouse pointer right here, and this will basically repeat until it's touching the mouse pointer. And we're going to change this to the edge. So now this is going to repeat until it touches one of the 4 edges. And what the thing is that we're actually going to have it do is we're going to have it move down the screen. So we're going to need 2 things to do that. The first is going to be go around position when I store as a clone. And we're going to make it pretty small. So set size to like something small. So like we'll put 10% and see if that's good. So now when we start the game and we click it, as you see, our coins pop up and it looks pretty nice. But honestly, they aren't going away. And the reason for it is because they're not touching the edge. And all we have to do, make them touch the edge, is actually move them a little bit. So what you could do is grab a change Y by 10. And now as you see, when I click them, they'll basically like zoom to the top. You can change it so it's not as fast. You can change it like 5 and it'll zoom to the top slower. But it'll still be pretty fast. You can change it to really whatever number you want. And if you want to be going down, which is what I'm going to do, you can change it negative. And now when you click it, it'll be falling down. And if you want to add one more little thing to make it look a little nicer, you can make it become transparent as it moves. If you don't know, transparency basically is just like you being able to see through it. And how you do that is by grabbing a change color effect by, and then we're going to change this to something like pretty small, so like a 2. And then we're going to change this to ghost. Ghost is the same thing as transparency. And now when you click it, as you see, it'll kind of like fade away as it falls. If you want to fade away faster, you can change the ghost effect by something a little bit bigger. But I think that's a little bit too fast, so I'm just going to change it back. And as you see, it falls and it kind of disappears until it hits the bottom, in which it's deleted. And now we have this. This is basically all we're going to be doing in this video. I hope you had a fun time. This is Gabatron Gaming out. Peace to everyone.